Good. Gosh, it's Wednesday already. Yeah, wow. It's the day before Thanksgiving. I hope that all of you that are having to bake and cook and all that good stuff are pacing yourself so that you don't overwhelm yourself and exhaust yourself. Um, I may make a dessert or something like that to take to my mom's house. I haven't decided yet. I normally don't, just simply because we travel and it's generally a turnaround trip. So we will get up in the morning, go there, visit for a while, and come back because the other adults at my house have to work Friday. I have to too, but I do it here. So um, wanted to talk to you about a couple of things because there's always those couple of things that I need to talk to you about. Um, I don't know if I could do this without it. One of the things that I'm doing, I buy local honey. And the reason why I do, there's a couple of things. The bees that are around in this area, the pollens and stuff that can get my allergies triggered goes into that honey. So it's kind of, each time I'm taking a little bit of it, it's kind of like inoculating my body and saying, hey, here's a dose of this. Get used to it, So it helps if you buy your honey local. It helps you with your allergies. And I'm just going to tell you, if you have never had allergies before, come to Kentucky. You'll have them. And if you are in different parts of Kentucky, I recommend that you still get your honey locally sourced. And by that I mean, if you live in Western Kentucky, get your honey in Western Kentucky, locally sourced. If you live in Northern Kentucky, get it in Northern Kentucky, locally sourced. Smacked myself in the face. Southeastern Kentucky, get it in Southeastern Kentucky. Reason being, although it's all the same state, the areas, like I'm more in a city type environment, more urban, suburban type area. So what I'm exposed to on the daily is way different than, say, what my mother is exposed to on the daily. So you need that little bit of extra to kind of help you. Honey has so many antibacterial properties and so much healing properties. So the reason why I brought all of that up is because I bought a huge jar of honey several months ago, and I forgot at the time. When we opened it, there was a lot of chaos going on, and I kept meaning to divide it out into smaller containers. The reason why you want to do that is because, and I'm moving it to a smaller container today. That's why it's on my mind. If you leave it in a bigger container and say, like, we had used down this much, yes, my fingernails are still stained. I don't know. I don't know other. I have cleaned underneath them with the vial, all that good stuff. I don't know. I've scrubbed them. They're just stained. I'm gonna have to cut them and hopefully, I don't know, soak them in peroxide or something. But anyway, that big jar, when you start getting a room for air, the air will start to crystallize your honey. And when it does that, you can heat it back up, and it will warm the crystals back up and turn it back into honey. But that's a step that you can avoid if you just put your honey in smaller containers. Even today, what I should have done, I'm transferring it over to a ball jar, and what I really should have done is transferred it over to smaller size jars, but for time reasons, I just didn't. I'll probably regret it later because I'll have to pour it down into a smaller container, but it is what it is. And I'm rambling already. Just to clue you in so far on how our day has been, here's what happened last night. And everything loaded into the dishwasher. I swear, I promise you, I remember. I was talking to my husband. I pushed the button. All the lights lit up. My dishwasher senses the temperature and the load size and all that good stuff. It is a Whirlpool Gold Master, or Gold Series. I've had the dishwasher that I had prior to that was the same thing. I love that brand. My new stove that y'all seen pictures of is a Whirlpool. I can't say the word Whirlpool as well, and I love it. That's one of my favorite brands. If you don't like that brand, that's okay with me. We can still be friends. That's just what I like. Anyway, all the lights lit up. Everything happened like it was supposed to happen. Thankfully, because I told my husband when I started it, his coffee cup that he normally carries to work was in there. And I told him, when you get up this morning, just, open the door and grab your cup. Thankfully, he did not do that, because as I started to prepare breakfast and was getting ready to prepare my coffee, because my stainless steel French press and my stainless steel coffee filter were in the dishwasher. That's when it occurred to me, hey, the soap dispenser is not open. And I'm looking around and it's like, hey, these aren't clean. And then I'm like going, oh, that too, and other dishes that we normally have were not cleaned. So anyway, that made this morning loads of fun, getting breakfast ready, and getting things done. If you are a Duke fan, I'm sorry. I'm not. And I am happy that you got beat last night. And I'm laughing about that. Yeah, it's a rivalry. I'm a UK fan. You all know that. So anybody that beats Duke, we love them tremendously. So yeah, that's where that is. I will be doing a video in the next few weeks, if not no later than about the first of the year. I have to figure out how I'm going to do it and figure out some containers. But I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to be separating, first of all, stained fingernails. I can't go to my mother's house like this. Tell you the funny thing I did too yesterday, so we're going to just hold this so I remember. I'm going to be taking my aloe vera plant and separating it, and I'm going to show you how I do that. And I'm also going to take a stalk off the aloe vera plant and try to root it. Start another aloe vera plant off of that. And you're probably going to say, why? Because, they multiply on their own. I have a sufficient amount, but I have, as I've started thinking about this, and the reason why I'm separating it out is because the younger plants that are trying to multiply don't have room in the pot that they're in, even though the pot's huge. But since I've learned how to use it in different ways, I will also do a video on harvesting it and using it for my hair. I should be able to now use it consistently and effectively on my skin. But I do need to separate it out so that, they can continue to multiply. And I kind of have to figure out where I'm going to put them. Should be able to put them down by the basement door, and a few more places in the kitchen. This is awful. This is just awful. And it's been since Saturday. This is Saturday. This is doing housework, this is doing dishes. Um, it won't go away. Um, and some of it is because every time I scratch my head, it's still, the color is still in my scalp, so it goes right back underneath my fingernail. And even though I pull it out, nada. I sat the other night with a makeup wipe remover and dug so much of it out. I've dug, I don't know, it's just stained. I'm gonna have to cut them because my mom will think I've lost my mind. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. First and foremost, please be safe, please be careful. There was something I was going to talk about, but it kind of has escaped my brain. If I think about it, I'll just make another video. Thank you to the new people that have subscribed to my channel. Thank you for all of the views on the video that I spoke about patients who, like me, have invisible illnesses, or have something that isn't quite the norm, or, you know, just it's called I have a friend, or I knew someone who, something along those lines. I have a friend who, I think is what I titled it. But anyway, we're going to be starting coffee plants in the next few weeks. We're going to start some more lettuce. I'm currently making bread that has 0 salt. That we are on the beginning of a long, hard road that ahead of us. My daughter is on a special diet for the next couple of weeks. I don't know if I've talked about this completely on here. I never, of all the things that I wanted my daughter to have, or not have to deal with, she has migraine like I do. Not quite as severe, but she has migraine. And I'm thankful that it's not as severe. I'm not comparing the two of us and going, oh, I'm worse. I feel sorry. No, I'm thankful that hers are not as severe as mine. However, she has Graves' disease. She was diagnosed a few weeks ago. Her numbers are extremely high. She'll be on a special diet for the next 2 weeks, and then she will be having 2 treatments done in hopes to kill her thyroid, for lack of that's just the bottom line. Her thyroid is overproducing so badly that she's in jeopardy. Her health is in jeopardy. A lot is in jeopardy. Said that, not so you can come and have pity on our family. My child's going to be all right. Do ask for prayers, because this is something that this wasn't even on the radar. This wasn't even, there was really no symptoms that would indicate anything of this nature, that even if you went to Dr. Google, that you would have gotten this. She had blood work done. Her blood work came back elevated on certain things. They ran another test, and it was like, oh, you got to go see this doctor. And this doctor said, we got to do this test. And after this test and this blood work came back, they said, we got to do this. So this is the road that my family's on. So we would appreciate your prayers. Just that simple. Your kindness, however, whatever you want to do. We're going to get through this. We're going to come through it. It just is. But even knowing that it's going to be okay in my head, to watch your child go through this, and to see somebody make a comment that you cannot die from Graves' disease on this stupid Twitter platform. Thankfully, he didn't hear me say stupid. I'm sorry. We're trying not to say stupid. On this platform, whenever the documentation and the doctor didn't pull any punches with this. So it just goes back to that other video. If you don't believe that autoimmune disease can take somebody's life, you don't know what you're talking about. It can change it, flip it upside down, and it can literally take their life away. It takes their quality of life away. It can take their actual life away. And the person that made this comment said you may feel like you're going to die. No. We spoke to a doctor who said, left untreated, or if this treatment doesn't work, we are going to have to get more drastic. There was no option to just put her on medication. It was, we got to do this, and we got to do it quick. Now, the flip side of this is, there's a possibility it will throw her into Hashimoto's. Ta-da! What are we going to do? We're going to keep moving. I push her hard for a reason. I ain't letting her give up. And I know ain't isn't a word. I'm from Kentucky and I can say ain't. Anyway, again, this is getting lengthy, and what I sat down here to talk about whenever I started the video is gone way completely a different direction. So here we are. Here it is. Stop. Stop being unkind to people. Now, let me say this. An illness is not a reason to behave badly. However, it's also not a reason, it's not for you to judge if they have that illness, if it is what it is, if what's going on with them is real, fake, or otherwise. It's not for you to judge. Like I told you in the other video, do I look sick to you? I've been up all morning doing stuff. Laundry, going up and down the stairs, taking care of a little person, fixing breakfast, preparing food for later. Do I look sick? Do I look like somebody that has an illness or multiple? No. When you see pictures of me when I have my makeup on, do I look sick? No. So, stop. 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 Be kind. It's not that hard. I know what I was going to talk about. I'll do another video because this one's getting too long. See you, bye. I'm the mayor's daughter from Remnant Urban Homestead. Happy Thanksgiving.